Hello and welcome to STEM in a Box instructional video. Today we're going to show you how to test the inputs of eBot using eBot app. First thing you need to do is plug in the USB cable to eBot, plug in the power cable or turn the power on if you've got the Pro, which has been done, and then the USB needs to be connected to the computer. Okay, turn this eBot around. Now we're going to open up eBot app, which you see on the screen there. Press refresh list and it will populate. It will find the COM port of the eBot, which in my case is COM6. We're going to, you would have previously uploaded the latest firmware. Now we're going to press connect and the program is connecting to the firmware on eBot. And there it is. So it goes green. So it's telling us we've got version 1.36 of eBot firmware. Great. So let's have a look at the sensors. In eBot app, there's three ways you can look at the sensor data. The first way is on the left-hand side, you've got your digital readouts on the left. So 2 for your distance. Obviously, the left-hand one there is, you just only got one if you've got the Junior. If you've got the Pro, then you would have 2 ultrasonics. They're your line sensors or your light sensors, phototransistors looking down underneath the robot, and that's your X and Y of your joystick. The other way you can see that data is you can select either chart or grid over here on these tabs down the bottom. And so let's look at the grid at the moment and then flick to the chart, and let's do the distance sensor first. Great. So I'm going to turn the robot upside down towards the ceiling, and you can see the values go up there. It's 100, 120. That's what you would expect looking at the ceiling, 120 centimeters. So that's working fine. Put the robot back down. It's registering 30, and then I'm going to put something in front of it. 8 centimeters. It's going down to 4 to 3. Now, when I get below 3, it starts to give spurious values. So that's the first point. Closer than 3 centimeters to the ultrasonic sensor gives spurious values. The other spurious value that you will get on all ultrasonic sensors is you'll occasionally get 0 values when there's nothing in front of you. So you need to filter those out in your if then else statement in your code. Excellent. So let's now have a look at the line sensors. So I'm going to change the graph to the line sensors there, and then the line sensors left and right showing here. First thing is I'm going to rotate the robot up to a bright source of light, and both the line sensors are going up. So it's, what's that? That's high 600s here. You can see there, 650, 700. Turn it. The LEDs by default for the sensors there are on 50% red. Put it back down on the surface, and it's reading 300, 350, which is probably what you might expect on some white vinyl. And put some black, so that's like what you might expect with the black line, and it's going down to say under, well, it's around about 50. There you go, it's about 50 or 55 and under, something like that. So that's perfectly indicative. So you've got black 50 and under, white vinyl about high 200s, 350, and then something very, very bright, maxing out the sensor at about 650 or 700. So they're the normal values that you would expect for your phototransistor-based light sensors, line-following sensors that are underneath the robot. Great. Let's have a look at the joystick now. So we're going to turn the robot around like this, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to flick to the grid, because you've got the X value for the joystick there, the Y value for the joystick, and then the button. If you've got the Pro, the older one, then you will only have one trim pot knob that rotates and then one fire button. So the trim pot will be hooked up to your X-axis and the fire button hooked up to the button. You can also see the joystick values there. Now, we've programmed the firmware to issue when the joystick is in dead stick, where we're not touching it, so it's in the middle, to be 0 for X and 0 for Y, which it is. If I go to negative X, I get negative 100. If I go to positive X, I get positive 100 for X. I go to negative Y, which is down. I get negative 100. I go up, which is positive 100 in the Y. So that's working perfectly. I push the joystick down, and you can see on the right-hand side in the button there, that's gone to a 1. I let go, and it goes back to a 0. So that's 100% working perfectly. So all three sensors are working perfectly, and that's their indicative values, and that's how you test them with eBot app. Thanks for listening.